And Shalom is Brother Yashimazakar from the Israelite Report, IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity, those that truly believe and want to get the hell up out of here. Perilous times we're living in. It's getting crazy out here, and every day something new is popping off, but the Lord said he would speed it up. And we're seeing that. You know, the days are flying by. Things are getting crazy out here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and go to the classic, my favorite chapter of all times, Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. This is that appointed time, I believe. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. And that's beautiful. Some of you may remember me speaking on that a couple of years ago. I kept hearing that verse in my head. You know how you hear certain things? Like I kept hearing that verse in my head. And that's why I call it upon my watch, because I was on the train and it just kept, that in the end it shall speak and not lie. In the end it shall speak and not lie. And I thought about all the years that have gone by, and all this truth and all this information, not just from Israelites, but you had whistleblowers, insiders that have leaked information about what's really going on in this world with the elites, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, just to name a few. And, the depopulation program and Rex 84, the King Alfred plan, the upcoming police state. And for a long time, people were able to scoff and talk shit and say that's not true. You're bugged out. You're crazy. You belong in the loony bin. But now we're at a point where all of the conspiracy theories have been found out to be true. Because at the end, it shall speak and not lie. And these prophecies are speaking. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. The Lord is speeding things up. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And we know that Esau hates us. And he's lifted up with pride. And he's not going out without a bang. He's going to do everything in his power to upset prophecy. So I just wanted to get that as a reminder that the Lord has a appointed time. Now, I was going to call this the calm before the storm, but I said, nah, the theme is still order out of chaos. That's what's in my spirit. This devil is trying to bring order out of chaos. So with that being said, this is Order Out of Chaos, Part 12.
Here's how the people in control play us every single day. There's this very well-known saying from the Freemasons, order out of chaos. This is a Freemason chessboard. This represents duality, good and evil, black and white, yes or no, just duality in general. And there are two opponents facing one another. When you're in the game, you think you're actually fighting one another, right? It's black versus white, evil versus good, empire versus empire. The chaos that they're creating with these battles seemingly looks like chaos. But if you were to look from a higher position and look down, you realize that they are all part of the same game, and that's where the order comes out of.
Right quick, I want to talk about something that happened today at the time of this recording. There's a sodomite that works at my job. He's not the only sodomite that works there, but anyway, he said that when he went to the store to pick up some, I guess, breakfast or whatever, he saw 4 trucks, men dressed in fatigues, like army fatigues, with FBI badges. Now, keep in mind, I work in D.C. I live in Maryland, but I work in D.C., as do a lot of people. 4 trucks of men. I want to say this so you understand. 4 trucks of men with FBI badges dressed in fatigues. Now, I've been saying this for quite some time, especially since Trump started the whole ICE raids and the deportations and snatching people up. First of all, you don't know who these people are. I believe, and it's a personal opinion of mine, I believe the Trump administration deputized certain individuals to go out as ICE agents. I can't prove that, but honestly, you don't know who these people are. They got masks on, meaning they have on face coverings. You don't know who these people are that are snatching people up. And honestly, you don't know where they're sending them to. You know, they're telling us they're sending people to their countries. They're sending them to El Salvador. We don't know what this devil is doing. This devil is coming down with great wrath. Okay? 4 trucks. That's what was told to me and my coworker. Of men dressed in fatigues with FBI badges. Most of these people have face coverings. If you've been following the news and following these deportations, a lot of times these people have face coverings of some sort, hiding their identity. We don't know who these people are that are snatching up individuals, Israelites, whether they be of the northern tribe or the southern tribe. This is what was told to me by a white man, by the way. Because I know how niggas are. Niggas don't believe nothing unless it comes from the white man. This was a white Edomite sodomite that reported this to us. Now, right quick, I want to get this in Amos 9 and 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon this sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord." Now, the thing is that the Lord is only dealing with the elect of the house of Israel. He's only dealing with the elect. So a lot of our people will get cut off. And the Lord is going to turn them over to Esau, whose blessing was the sword. So yeah, on one hand, you get pissed off when you see Esau doing what he's doing, snatching our people up and just sending them over and doing who knows what. But at the same time, this is prophecy. And our people would not hear. The prophet Jeremiah, he went through that. He got to a point where he said, pray not for these people. The Lord told him, pray not for these people. That was in his spirit. Pray not for these people. But the Lord said he would not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. 9th verse says, "For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations." Our people are scattered among all nations. And a lot of people have a problem with that. It took me time to understand that. Our people are really scattered among all nations. It says, "For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations like a corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword." So this is the judgment of the Heavenly Father on our people. Remember, the Lord said, "I will go into my place until they acknowledge their offense." You have to have a repentant heart. You can't be a nigger coming before the Lord. What Trump and his administration and the small hats that control him are rolling out, really, technically speaking, is judgment from the Heavenly Father. Okay? All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. So these northern kingdom tribes, because they're coming after the Mexicans, the Venezuelans, the El Salvadorians, snatching them up. They thought they were better than the Negroes. They fell for Esau's trap. But the scriptures say, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So they didn't see that evil times were coming. Bad times. Evil times. Bad times. All right. So again, this is judgment of the Heavenly Father. So a part of me is pissed off at Esau, but at the same time, I understand because our people are wicked as hell. And I guarantee you, a lot of those northern tribes, because I've been in a relationship with one of them. Actually, I had a couple, but my main relationship was what this. I was with this Mexican chick. She acknowledged the Lord. She even told me. She knew I was a man of the Lord. But she would go to mass on Sunday with her, with her mother, and go to the Catholic Church and bow down and pray to the Mother Mary, the goddess Mary. And not for nothing, I had a Ghanaian chick. She did the same goddamn thing. I remember she prayed for something and she got it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I caught her saying, "Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary." And I know some niggas can't understand this, but a lot of them Ghanaians, a lot of them are Israelites. And she was straight nigga. She's just a nigga with an African accent. So anyway, I say all of that to say this. Our people are worshiping false gods, and the Lord is not happy with them. And they're going to learn. They're going to learn to respect the Lord. On X, this is in the news right quick, real fast. Laura Loomer on X, one of Trump's allies, she writes, "Don't be shocked if we have an attack on U.S. soil by Iranian proxies." And I've been speaking on this a lot lately, ad nauseum, over and over again. I've been telling you that Esau is setting the stage to say that Iran is going to carry out a terrorist attack here in America. So you have the bombings and these strikes between Israel and Iran. Yeah, that's cute. But what I'm keeping an eye on is this false flag that's coming. Because I know before we really get into the meat of it, okay, World War III, I know at some point the mark of the beast, that microchip, the mandation, right? Mandating, making it mandatory so you can understand what I'm saying. The microchip has to come into play. And the best way to do that is by a false flag. To say we must microchip everyone to make sure that you are who you say you are. Because it's not enough that you have an ID. It's not enough. This devil wants to put that chip in you. So you see, two things are moving at once, killing two birds with one stone. You have this Iranian situation going on, which they want to go to war with Iran. But at the same time, they want to microchip everyone. That's why Elon Musk is there, the man behind the Neuralink. You have Peter Thiel in Trump's administration, the man behind Palantir. Okay? Nothing is coincidental, nor accidental. So I'm looking for this false flag here in the U.S. Lord Loomer says, and she's a small hat, she says, don't be shocked if we see an attack on U.S. soil by Iranian proxies. I fear a lot of people are about to be exposed to more Islamic cultural enrichment. Millions of Iranian proxies are living in the U.S., already setting the stage that the next major false flag, whatever it may be, they're going to blame it on Iran. And I believe that will be a path towards the mark of the beast. That's a personal opinion. The only way to make sure that you're not a terrorist is to microchip you. That's a personal opinion. Because, of course, you have the CBDC, the financial side of things. All your information is going to be in that microchip. Your health records, all that is going to be there. But just me thinking, the way I'm looking at it and the way things are shaping up, developing, I could easily see a false flag turning into the mandation, as I said, the microchip being mandated. Millions, this is what she writes, millions of Iranian proxies are living in the U.S. We don't even know who some of these people are. I predict we will be attacked. That's Laura Loomer, a small hat in the Trump administration. And if she's not in the Trump administration, she's a very close ally and may even have more pull than Trump because she's a small hat. Someone writes, and this came from Julian Ram, he writes, and here comes the false flag. See, somebody understands what's going on. He says, here comes the false flag. You can see this coming. They're basically telling you what they're about to do. Someone else writes, what incident are the USA corrupt establishment going to create and lay the blame elsewhere? Because that's what the United States does. At the behest of the state of Israel, the Israeli government. This is what they do. They allow these false flags to happen and point the finger at one of these other countries, whether it be Iraq or Afghanistan or, in this case, Iran, Russia. What incident are the USA corrupt establishment going to create and lay the blame elsewhere? They got away with it on 9/11. The next one won't be half as believable. Someone else writes, I'm pretty sure they're going to detonate a nuclear weapon in an American city using smuggled Iranian uranium. Ooh, that could be crazy. I'm going to read that again. Someone is predicting, says, I'm pretty sure they're going to detonate a nuclear weapon in an American city using smuggled Iranian uranium. That would be crazy. Someone else replied and said, when they tell these people, excuse me, I believe they meant the right when they tell us these people did it. Look the other way and you will see who really did it. Someone else replies, I'm waiting for Hannity, Shapiro, etc. to parrot the talking point, meaning the media. The media is going to get behind this when this false flag happens, and the media will parrot whatever the mainstream narrative is. Okay? But let me get this right quick in 2 Ezra 6 and 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And you're going to find a time, we're running into a time, when all these false flags happen, all of a sudden there's going to be a famine. People going to lose their goddamn mind. People, well, let me go ahead and keep reading. It says, and a trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Okay, so all this pride is about to go away. Trust me. These people walking around all high-minded with their goddamn face, their nose up in the air, that shit's about to end. And it says, 24th verse, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And I'm reminded of what happened during the pandemic. If you didn't have a face mask on, you had friends cursing each other out, family members cursing each other out. If you didn't take the jab, there were family members coming against each other, friends, best friends, people that have been best friends for years, 20 years. I've seen this stupid shit with my own eyes. All of a sudden, they're fighting against each other. They become enemies. When this false flag takes place, because this country is already divided, the left will be blaming the right, and the right will be blaming the left. And because people have they've taken up these political parties, and, you know, it's in their heart. Trust me, I know. I'm in D.C. You don't get more political than D.C. People hate each other because of their political affiliations. When this false flag takes place, those same people that you call your neighbors, they're going to hate you. Even if you're not associated with a certain political party, they're going to see you as the enemy. That sounds crazy at the moment. But this is order out of chaos. You will have the left-wing media blaming the Republicans and the right-wing media blaming the Democrats. I see the play already. It's going to be civil war out here. It's going to get crazy. When this false flag takes place, watch. Watch and see. And you may be someone that say, I'm not into politics. They're not going to give a shit. You're not on our side. Because the right is already, the Republicans are already blaming Biden for letting in these illegal immigrants from everywhere. And I read certain news articles, you know, right-wing Republican news articles that are saying Biden is responsible for letting these people in. So when it happens, they're going to say it was the Biden administration. But at the same time, you're going to have the left-wing Democrats saying, no, this happened on Trump's watch. Watch what happens. 24th verse again, it says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Watch this, 25th verse. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. And we're seeking salvation. Lord willing, Yahawashi have mercy on us. When this shit really hit the fan, when it really pops off. This came from the New York Post, continuing on with the news. Iran was behind 2 assassination attempts on President Trump. This is what they're saying from the New York Post. Iran was behind 2 assassination attempts on President Trump. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu claims in bombshell interview. So they're blaming Iran for the assassination attempts on Trump. Again, you can see what this is building up to. If you're paying attention, if you're on your watch, you can see how all the blame is towards Iran. It says here, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused Iran Sunday of orchestrating 2 failed assassination attempts on President Trump during his 3rd presidential campaign last year. Netanyahu characterized Trump as the greatest threat to Iran and its ambitions for acquiring a nuclear weapon. Claiming, this is what he claims, claiming that why the rogue regime tried to murder him in a shocking moment during an interview with Bret Baier of Fox News. This is a quote from Netanyahu. This is what he says. These people who chant death to America tried to assassinate President Trump twice. That's what Netanyahu said as he was making his case to the American people for launching attacks on Iran amid the Islamic Republic and Israel's deadly exchange of missiles over the weekend. Again, this is another quote from Netanyahu. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities? Oh, shit. That goes back to what I read on X. Let me go back up. See, everybody's not stupid. This was one of the replies to Laura Loomer. Someone said, I'm pretty sure they're going to detonate a nuclear weapon in an American city using smuggled Iranian uranium. I'll be damned. And then Netanyahu, according to the New York Post, this is what he said. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities. Well, shit. He's speaking to America. Sounds like a false flag's coming to me. That's what it sounds like. Oh, but I'm crazy. I'm losing my mind. Fuck you. The truth is the truth. These people have something stored up in mind. And they are about to deliver on their thoughts. Whatever they're thinking, they're about to deliver on it. Again, this is the second half of that quote. It says, of course not. So we're defending ourselves, but we're also defending the world. That's what Netanyahu is claiming that Israel is doing. Continuing on with this article, it says Brett Baer seemed taken aback by Netanyahu's comments and asked the prime minister to expand on the incendiary accusation. And this is what he said. It says, you just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. That's what the Fox News anchor said. But it says here in a quote from Brett Baer, do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran? And Netanyahu replied, through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him. Y'all see where this is going, right? You see where this is going. And let me tell you something right now. If something happens to Trump, oh, this shit gonna go up in flames. This place will go up in flames real fast. It's gonna get ugly out here. Okay? It's going to get real nasty. Even if they fake it. You know, the people are stupid. They won't even understand. It could be CGI. It could be some planned, orchestrated event. The people will lose their shit if something happened to Trump. But Benjamin Netanyahu is putting it out there that if it does happen, it came from Iran. So this is what these elites of Esau Edom have cooked up. All right, they have this cooked up. And I believe they plan, you know, with multiple cards on the table. You know, if plan A don't work, then plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F, so on and so on. So all of these cards on the table, it could be a nuclear situation in a U.S. city, or at least they can make it seem as if that's what it was. It could be, you know, unaliving Trump. There's different cards that they're going to play, or they have, you know, in their hand. Different options. Alex Jones wrote this on X. He wrote, Pakistan threatens to nuke Israel. Pakistan threatens to nuke Israel. See, we're looking for the Lord to disappoint Esau Edom. And we have to believe he will disappoint the hands of the crafty. We have to believe it. Otherwise, there's no hope. Because all we have is the Lord. That's it. We don't have anything else. We're defenseless. The blessing to Esau Edom was the sword. I don't care how many young niggas is running around here with choppers and blickies and switches. They can't fight against Esau and his armies. It's not going to happen. And what is these young niggas going to do when World War III pops off? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. A blicky ain't going to stop a nuclear bomb from exploding in your city. The Lord disappointed the hands of the crafty. Again, let me go back to this. Alex Jones on X says Pakistan threatens to nuke Israel. As predicted by top war planners, Netanyahu's refusal to negotiate with Iran has now led the nuclear-armed power Pakistan threatening to use their own radioactive weapons against the J-ish, the J-E-W-ish state if the IDF nukes Iran. So this is where we are. I'm just going to say, in my personal opinion, my heart of hearts, the microchip has to be right around the corner. How they bring it about, why they bring it about, what excuse they use to bring it about, I don't know. I've always said, you know, from my experience, what I know, what I believe, it will be a false flag, a major false flag, and that will be the thing. Some people say the collapse of the economy, and I can see that too. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense, actually. But my mind is military minded. I have a military mindset. So I'm thinking false flag. How do we identify everyone? How do we make sure these people aren't terrorists? It makes sense that they would say we have to microchip everyone because the ID isn't good enough. Identification on a computer is not good enough because computers can be hacked. So the best way to prove that you're not a terrorist or an illegal, right? An illegal immigrant. That's another reason why this is a hot topic at the moment, is because of the microchip. That microchip that they plan to enforce, mandate that no man may buy or sell, save he have the mark of the beast, the microchip. So anyway, I've been running my mouth. Let me get some scriptures. Revelation 7:2, it says, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what Benjamin Netanyahu says or what the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, says. Nothing's going to pop off until the Lord gives permission to the angels to allow it to happen. Okay, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given, right? Key word, it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Right? So the Lord has an elect that he's sealing. We pray that we be of that elect to make it the hell up out of here. Because this is hell. 4th verse says, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of the tribes of the children of Israel. Because that's who's going to make it. Psalms 34:3 says, O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. And it's going to be great fear when these things pop off. And as you can see, I'm not as crazy as you once thought I was. The men of the Lord are not as crazy as you once thought we were. Shit is really happening now. Now, the things that we've been saying, you can see on the news. Says, 4th verse, I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto me and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him. Because that's all we are, man. I don't give a shit what you got in your bank account. You're just a poor man asking for mercy from the Lord. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of his troubles. Right? Then the Lord say there would be a time of Jacob's trouble, but the Lord would deliver them out of it. The elect will be saved out of it. The angel of the Lord encampeth around them. The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. So we're looking for deliverance. We're looking for salvation from these times. And trust me, when those times come, when we're in the middle of martial law, civil war, uprisings of the people, ready to overthrow the government, neighbors fighting against each other, friends fighting as if they were enemies. That's when you're going to need the Lord the most. But the rest of the world, they don't acknowledge the Lord. So who do they have to turn to in those troublesome times? Let me get this in Hebrews 10. Hebrews 10:35, it says, cast not away therefore your confidence, which have great recompense of reward. Payback. We're going to get our just reward. It says, for ye have need of patience, again, and in your patience possess ye your souls. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of Yahawashi, ye may receive the promise. And the Lord promised us the kingdom. He promised us deliverance. He promised us salvation. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will not tarry. In the end, it shall speak and not lie, right? Though it tarry, wait for it. It will not tarry. 38th verse. Now the just shall live by faith. Doesn't that sound familiar? Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. Our salvation comes through Yahawashi. So even in these troublesome times, we have hope. The just shall live by his faith.